Have you heard the news? Well, it's not a good sign of what's to come if you're not prepared. Social media giant Facebook laid off more than 11,000 employees on Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. In this video, we will discuss the letter that employees received on Wednesday morning and what you can do to create endless opportunities no matter what is going on around you. Hey, I'm Charlene. Welcome to my channel. Make sure you subscribe below to get the latest updates. Don't leave me hanging out here on these streets. I am a CPA and financial educator. What does that mean? Well, for me, it means I spend a lot of time studying CEOs and how they make, manage, and multiply their money. That's how I fell in love with the idea of dividends. If you're not familiar with that, it's all about getting an extra stream of income so that you can reclaim your money and time. But in this video, I want to dive into Facebook. What's going on at Facebook? I may say Facebook here and there or Meta, but you know what I mean. I want to set the stage before we get started. So Facebook was started in 2004. The company went public on May 18th, 2012. Well, Facebook reached a market capitalization of $1 trillion in June 2021. But as of November 9th, 2022, the market value dropped all the way down to around $253 billion. That's a big decrease. Now, if you're looking to find out more about a company, I recommend you go to the financial statements. The financial statements are where you unlock the gold. So this is one skill that you need to pick up, learning how to read financial statements. Companies issue unaudited quarterly financial statements, and they also give you audited financial statements every year. So be on the lookout for those dates and when it takes place. You should also listen to the earnings call to get a feel for how management is talking about the company and how they respond to various questions that analysts may give them. So let's dive into Facebook's latest financial results. They reported financial results for the quarter ended September 30th, 2022 on October 26th. Now, if you would have listened to the financial statements, if you would have listened to the earnings call, you would have got more insights into Facebook's financial standing and if they were on the verge of potentially laying off employees. So the company's overall sales declined 4% to $27.71 billion in the quarter. Investors were concerned about Meta's rising costs and expenses, so the stock price fell during that time as well. Their costs and expenses jumped 19% year over year in the third quarter to $22.1 billion. Let's talk about operating income. That's your revenue that you receive minus the cost and expenses that we just talked about. So the operating income dropped 46% from the previous year. It was $5.66 billion for operating income. So social media giant on November 9th, Facebook decided to lay off employees. They laid off more than 11,000 employees, which is 13% of its workforce. Now, as of September, Meta stated that they had more than 87,000 employees. So why do you look at these numbers? Well, it gives you a heads up. You can know in advance if something may be happening in the upcoming months or weeks. And as an investor, there are some numbers that you need to look at and become familiar with so that you can determine if this company is going to be around for the long term. Will they have the potential to continuously pay you dividends if they are a dividend paying company? Many tech companies do not pay dividends right now because they are reinvesting back into the growth of the company. Facebook does not pay dividends at this time. And if you work for a company, right, I want you to understand, reading financial statements is not just for investors. If you work for a company, it's important to understand financial statements because you can identify what those high priority items that the company will focus on and if you will be a part of that bigger plan, because if not, You need to be thinking strategically right now about the moves you are going to make. So one skill that you need to know, make sure you know this so you won't be caught off guard. Understand financial statements. That's why I teach financial statements all the time, so that people can be prepared and not scared. Okay, let's dive into Mark Zuckerberg's message to Meta employees. November 9th, 2022. Today, I'm sharing some of the most difficult changes we've made in Meta's history. I've decided to reduce the size of our team by about 13% and let more than 11,000 of our talented employees go. We are also taking a number of additional steps to become a leaner and more efficient company by cutting discretionary spending and extending our hiring freeze through Q1. I want to take accountability for these decisions and for how we got here. I know this is tough for everyone, and I'm especially sorry to those impacted. How did we get here? At the start of COVID, the world rapidly moved online, and the surge of e-commerce led to outsized revenue growth. Many people predicted this would be a permanent acceleration that would continue even after the pandemic ended. I did too, so I made the decision to significantly increase our investments. Unfortunately, this did not play out the way I expected. Not only has online commerce returned to prior trends, but the macroeconomic downturn, increased competition, and ads signal loss have caused our revenue to be much lower than I'd expected. I got this wrong, and I take responsibility for that. This new environment, we need to become more capital efficient. We've shifted more of our resources onto a smaller number of high priority growth areas, like our AI discovery engine, our ads and business platforms, and our long-term vision for the metaverse. We've cut costs across our business, including scaling back budgets, reducing perks, and shrinking our real estate footprint. We're restructuring teams to increase our efficiency. But these measures alone won't bring our expenses in line with our revenue growth. So I've also made the hard decision to let people go. How will this work? There is no good way to do a layoff, but we hope to get all the relevant information to you as quickly as possible, and then do whatever we can to support you through this. Everyone will get an email soon letting you know what this layoff means for you. After that, every affected employee will have the opportunity to speak with someone to get their questions answered and join information sessions. What about equity compensation? Do you remember that equity that you were promised if you fulfilled certain requirements when you started the job? Right? So typically you get a salary that could be $100,000 a year, and then a lot of tech companies do this, may offer equity compensation to entice you to work for the company. So they may give you a certain number of shares after you've been at the company for a period of time. Well, Facebook has RSUs, restricted stock units, and this is one form of equity compensation. Unlike your stock options, in which you have to buy shares at a certain price in order to get the shares, you don't have to do that with RSUs. These shares are automatically granted to you. You automatically receive them after you fulfill your requirements. So it's no money coming out of your pocket in order to buy these. You get these after a certain period of time. And so for Facebook, they said that everyone impacted will receive their November 15th, 2022 vesting. Then there's health insurance. Get this. We'll cover the cost of healthcare for people and their families for 6 months. Holy cow, that's amazing, because when you leave a job, you typically have to take on health insurance expenses, and nobody wants to do that right now because the cost of healthcare is rising, right? But this is a benefit because you don't have to cover your health insurance for 6 months or your family, so you are protected. So I think that's a really good benefit. Sometimes when you get laid off, when you quit your job, you may have COBRA insurance. And with COBRA, you keep your employer-sponsored insurance, but guess what? Your employer won't be putting in their half. You'll have to pay the amount your employer paid plus your half, so your insurance will be twice as much for a period of time. That could really increase your expenses and eat away at your income. So if health insurance is taken care of for a period of time, that makes your life easier. Meta is also offering career support with an external vendor. That career support will last, let's see how long, will provide 3 months of career support. And that includes early access to unpublished job leads. That sounds like a perk. Immigration support. So many people may be here on a visa, which can be extremely difficult. Meta said there is a notice period before termination and some visa grace periods, which means everyone will have time to make plans and work through their immigration status. We have dedicated immigration specialists to help guide you based on what you and your family need. So those are some of the perks that Meta is offering employees. I know this is a sad time for so many because the economy is just very challenging. Inflation is at all-time highs. There's a lot we are battling right now, but it's so important to not think about what you lost. Think about the opportunities ahead. If you have that mental shift, that can invite different types of experiences into your life. And when you're going through an unexpected change, you need to be positioned for greater opportunities, right? It's not a setback, it's a setup for success. And this is what you need to do to create endless opportunities no matter what is going on around you. Are you ready? Number 1, evaluate your finances. You need to know all about your income, your expenses, your assets, your debt, everything about your financial situation. You need to know about it right now before anything happens. So this is what I want you to do. Either use an app or use good old Excel, which I like to use as well. You need to jot down what your income looks like. What are your expenses? How much money do you have left over? What are you doing with that money you have left over? Right? You need to know where you stand. It doesn't matter if your expenses are exceeding your income right now. All that matters is that you know where you stand. Awareness is key because you don't want to be blind during this process, right? You can't make progress if you are blind. So you want to know where you are so you can determine where you need to go. So get that number right now. Find out your income, your expenses, how much you have left over, and look at your assets and your debt as well to see what you are working with. Put all of your finances together so that you can determine where you stand. Number 2, now you want to review your finances and evaluate it. What can you improve on? Can you decrease expenses anywhere? Does it make sense? Or can you increase your income? Do you have another stream of income that you can use right now? Can you get passive income? Right? Can you learn new skills that can help you get income? What are those profitable skills that are in demand right now? Do you have friends or know people on Facebook who do certain things that you're interested in? Well, see if you can get on a call with them. Don't be afraid to pay them, right? People's time is valuable right now. Pay them because that payment, that $200, $300, $500 payment may allow you to make $1,000 extra every month. Wouldn't that $500 call be worth it if you can get an extra $1,000 every month? I think so. So review your finances and see what changes you can make in order to maximize your finances, okay? And then let's look at number 3. Number 3 is be strategic. Create a strategy so that you can continue to create endless opportunities in your finances. That strategy is making sure you save more than you spend. I know that sounds crazy, right? It sounds crazy if you're getting $2,000 and I'm saying, hey, make sure you save $1,100 and only spend $900. Say what? It's possible, but it may not be possible overnight. That's why I said, look at your financial situation first, right? And you want to build up to that point. You can increase your income, decrease your expenses so that you can have more money left over. More money left over means more money to save and invest in the assets and things that will get you to your dream life, that will help you create endless opportunities, because that's what it's all about. So those are three things. Those are just three things I want you to do right now to create endless opportunities. Now, we talk about opportunities every week because there are things that's popping up, right, all the time, and you want to be able to take advantage of it. So I have a link below if you would like to sign up for one of my courses or workshops so that we can dive into the latest ways to make money, save money, multiply your money, and create endless opportunities in everything you do. But don't forget to subscribe if you like this video, because there will be more coming your way. I don't want you to be scared. I want you to be prepared. So if you want to be prepared, make sure you hit subscribe right now. Share this video, tell a friend, and make sure you come back because I'll be bringing more insights your way. I am Charlene Reinhardt. Find me at the Career Guidance Academy or Wealthy Women Daily, but I'll see you later. Bye-bye.